Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome. I'm Shivani, and welcome to your Capricorn May astrology and tarot reading. In this video, we will be diving deep into your astrology for the first half, and then we're going to go into some cards. So, this is typically for Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Um, the tarot reading is for everybody, actually. If you're here, it's for you. But astrologically, specifically, is it will be more exactly speaking for Capricorn rising, but I've seen it to be like the energy, somehow the messages seem to always resonate with other placements as well. So take it as you will. But yes, just to let you know that this is how we do astrology. And if you want to check out all the ways in which you can work with me, I have a one-on-one sessions for tarot, human design, astrology, natal chart reading, as well as healing sessions. And I have a beautiful expression session, which is a little different, but you can check it out down below. And I mentioned that because you have expression as a big theme this month, I feel. And if you want to really spend time with me on a longer term basis, then check out that as well. All right. Anything else? Yes, the jewel. If you're somebody who loves to have an all access space where you can just go and do a meditation or EFT tapping or watch a workshop it's like self-healing resources, then this is your space that you would really, really enjoy. So please check out Jewel down below in the description. It's my membership where I have just collected all the resources that I've dug out from the world in my very line one, which is in human design. I'm a line one profile fashion. So yeah, let's begin with your astrology, Capricorns. So we start with your Saturn being in your third house since March, and it's going to be here for 2.5 years, right? So there's an ongoing theme of the lessons coming around expression, your truth, your communication, your embodiment. It's an ongoing process. It's not something that you can rush. It's not something that you shouldn't even complain about, because there would be Saturn energy is like it will bring up stuff, so that will bring up self-awareness around these things so that you can heal, so that you can use it so that you can just like work with it, right? We're all here on the path of evolution. The soul is here to evolve. So the Saturn is the epic daddy of evolution and maturity and spiritual growth. So yes, your expression is the way through which it's all happening. For all of us, Saturn is in a different places. For you guys, it's just showing up in your expression, which is, I feel, in my opinion, so beautiful, because this eclipse is activating my expression theme, and I can just feel how the last 2 years have really, really kind of like asked me to work on my expression. Now, the thing with the eclipse for you guys, whereas which is happening on the 5th of May, that is when I'm recording this. If you're watching it later, then obviously it will make more sense to you, the energies. But the eclipse is kind of like really, really telling you, because it's occurring in your 11th house. So I would really suggest you to celebrate this time. You have really, really gathered some beautiful friendships and some really high quality friendships, some really high quality connections and relationships. And I'm talking about social connectionships, your connections and relationships, and your place in the society, as to say. And it's so easy sometimes when we are there in that space to take it for granted, because we're like, always, just a human tendency to always look out what next. But this eclipse is really, really highlighting. Probably, so for all of us, it's going to look different. For some of you, it's really about wrapping up an era with a set of friends. Maybe you're moving places, maybe you're moving organizations, maybe your friendships are falling away. For some of you, it could just mean that you have very successfully built this area of your life, and you should really celebrate this time. And wherever you are, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, if your friendships are falling away, or if you're in a place where your friends are shifting or changing, it just means that they have served their purpose, and you're moving on to a place where something which is more aligned, something which is more beneficial and like really here to serve you in towards your destiny, that's going to come in. That's the energy of eclipses. That's what eclipses do. That's why eclipses are here to like literally hold our hands and take us towards our destinies. They do for us what nobody else can do it, what we can't do for ourselves many times. So if you're in a space where few friendships specifically are falling away, I have so much compassion for you, because it's a phase that I went through a couple of years back. Um, and now, and I didn't know about astrology then, but now I know. But I just have so much compassion for you if you're going through that process. If you're not, then I would ask you to really celebrate this time. Really celebrate your friendships. Let people know in your life who they are to you, what they mean to you. It takes a very long time to build friendships and connections and all social connections. And if you're in a good place, then I think you should celebrate it with this eclipse. Okay. All right. Next, I want to talk to you a little bit about the Mercury retrograde. We've been in the Mercury retrograde period, and the Mercury is going to go direct in after I think 14th May. Yes. So the Mercury retrograde, Mercury is the planet of communications. It's been in retrograde. So probably when it comes to your creative projects, when it comes to fifth house is the house of Venus. So it's a very leisure space, right? But when you like, one way I can say is like, if your vacations get canceled, that's a very fifth house Mercury retrograde vibe. But just think of it in other ways as well, right? Maybe you've been just experiencing some delays, but I feel like 14th May onwards, if there are some, say you are taking a little break, a little vacation, or you've been working on your hobbies and your passion, then when Mercury goes direct, then it would be a good idea to start doing something about these passions. So start taking them seriously, or taking them to the next level, or maybe an idea to implement it, to see how you can put it into practice, right? But yeah, like I feel like Mercury retrograde has probably not, apart from the vacation plans, I don't think it should have been that difficult for you guys. Okay. Yeah, like I feel like probably some traveling issues. That's all I can say. Delays in your vacation, nothing else. Now, when we talk about the Venus and the Mars, so Venus is going from sixth house to the seventh house. So sixth house is about your daily routine. So your focus now shifts more to your relationship. Your focus now shifts more on, do you feel you find a lot of pleasure in relationships. So this is a time when I would say, like, instead of finding pleasure in hobbies or going out or talking to friends, actually to spend time with your partner, actually spend time with, if you don't have a partner, if you're single, spend time with yourself, right? Like just doing something romantic, I feel like, or probably listing out your intentions for the relationship that you want to call in. But it's a very romantic partnership committed energy that I feel that the Venus, when it moves in the sign of Cancer, that will start bringing in. Yeah, because Cancer is also very homely. Cancer is very family oriented. So you might actually want to probably, you would be feeling more nurturing, more softened, more inclined towards embracing the mother era, the mother archetype in you. And Mars. So interesting. Mars is the planet of aggression, but Mars is also the planet which drives us. It's the motivation, it's the drive. So finally, if you have been facing some issues in your relationship, a lot of anger, a lot of like emotional upheavals in your relationships, it's kind of like it can give you an opportunity now as it moves into the sign of Leo to use this as a way to get closer to each other, as a way to get to get more intimate and vulnerable with your emotions, to create a deeper intimacy in all ways. So when we talk about intimacy, it's not just physical, okay? It's also emotional and spiritual and mental intimacy. So I really feel like I think Mars goes on 20th May when it goes to it moves into the sign of Cancer. Sorry, Leo. That's when I feel like you're gonna feel much more passionate, much more um primal. Uh, so yeah, and then it's happening in your eighth house. Eighth house is the house of fear, vulnerability, intimacy, rebirth, sex. So all of those things are going to come into, like, you're going to feel probably more inspired. And sometimes, obviously, because it's the house of fears and vulnerability, it can trigger you as well, because and the fire comes and it can like really like a lot of spontaneous things happen and impulsive things happen, and you can do a lot of or say a lot of things in the heat of the moment. So just be careful about that, and see how can you bring a little bit more softening in that space of like, so when you feel the impulse to say leave the room after a heated argument, maybe leave it but then come back. Or maybe just soften a little bit, right? Like try to, instead of running from your vulnerabilities or your or we all have intimacy issues, let's be honest. You can only be as intimate as you can be with us, with yourself, and the humanity is really really growing to be more intimate with itself. Yes. So yeah, this is really an opportunity to grow more intimate with yourself, and as a consequence with another person in your life. um yeah, that's astrology. Now let's do the cards. What do the cards have to say about the Capricorns? So let's see. What messages do we have for Capricorns for the month of May 2023? Okay. Right. Hmm. So some destined events do take place this month, some destined decisions to take place this month, but it's overall a sense of ending, a sense of like letting go. What, and I feel like you guys are pretty intelligent and very pragmatic and practical. You know there are some things that have served their purpose, and you are like, it's okay. I can let it go. If it's done, it's done. Right? You're not like, oh, I can't let it go, even if it's toxic. You're just like, yeah, cool. It's of its purpose. You let it go. It's time. No problem. And that's happening because you guys can see how much anxiety and how much um upheaval and how much like just disturbance it has caused you in your life, right? You see the pain it has caused you, and you're like, I'm just not interested to be in that space anymore. I'm just not interested to be in a place of pity party. I'm just not in a place to be to just suffer anymore, right? You guys have had some epiphany, and you can like see the truth of the matter. You guys have like see, you can like differentiate. You have cultivated a gift of discernment, I feel like, when it comes to people. So if you're the kind of, if you are belong to the group which is losing some friendships, probably you have seen some truths to life. You are probably shocked by them, or maybe you're not, because they're like, I understand. I knew this is gonna happen. But either way, there is something which you see. There's something that you can't see unsee anymore. That is something that you learned. There is something which just comes to light with this eclipse, I feel. And you're just like, makes sense. Okay. Okay. Um, the focus is very much on creativity right now and expression right now. Of course we need. But we need to understand there's a tendency, as I said, we guys are always interested to see when the next major activations are supposed to happen. So we are looking forward to, say, activations in our relationship sectors, activations in our money, or activations in our careers. When it comes to pleasure, joy, creativity, we're not so interested. When it comes to even expression, a lot of us are not interested. But it's like something has conspired behind the scenes in the last few months, which is giving birth to a creation, which is brought you here in a space of honoring this middle spaces, honoring the creativity, honoring the softness that these moments of joy and pleasure bring into your life. There has been a Tower moment. There has been a big change. That's been a big change. So when you give yourself the time to spend in this pause, in this slowness, in this creativity, and in this sense of pleasure, what happens is that a new you emerge. It's a very beautiful and innocent energy. So probably what happens in the first half of May, or what has already conspired in this eclipse season, it's not been pretty. But what comes out of it is this. It's you. So you can see so much of this furry, fuzzy, innocent, soft, creative energy, right? It's not a creative energy which is like boom. It's like a river. It's not like a tsunami. It's a river, a gentle river. Yeah, a very gentle river flowing by. It has revealed a part of you which even you didn't know existed. I think there's this very soft, innocent part of you who believes in their truth, their honesty, who believes in their innocence, who sees how actually worthy and beautiful and soft they are. And for a Capricorn, that's a uncomfortable realization to see yourself. But we have a lot of sons and daughters of cups, son of cups this time. And then we have the daughter of cups. You're probably thinking about children, dealing with children, or creativity. It's either of these things, but the thing is, like, we often club these things together because it's at the end of the day a birthing process. It's at the end of the day a process to birth. And to birth, you have to get into a space of pause, slowness, the river. Okay, that's what's been happening. Is you have been finding like, oh, okay, I have been in a pause. I have been just stagnant. Why is nothing moving? Just like you've been getting intuitive downloads. It doesn't mean like nothing is happening internally, but that's what it's all happening so internally that you quite do not have the words for it. That you're like, okay, I don't exactly know what's really happening. Yeah. But you do know. You guys know. You guys know what's happening. Somebody's going through a process of metamorphosis. Somebody is going through a process of metamorphosis and they are ready to become a butterfly. It's you guys. It's you. All this stagnancy, all this slowness and pause, it's all taking you somewhere. It's this slow unraveling of this butterfly wings so that you become ready to speak your truth to the world. I also cannot ignore that this butterfly is blue, and for me, blue is also the throat chakra. And as I said, Saturn is in your third house of communication, of expression. And of course, It's not going to happen in one day. It's a process that's going to unwind over a period of time. But I feel like with every passing day, you are becoming more and more ready, to be heard, to be seen, to go through this journey of owning your power, but not in this aggressive way that you're so familiar with, in a very soft and gentle way. Because you've been working hard and you know that. You've been working hard. You've been like breaking your back literally. I feel like some of you probably need to take care of your health as well. But I think that's in the past, I think. Because you're like really working hard. You've been like really paying attention to the detail. So at the end of the month, I feel when Mars moves into Leo, probably after 14th, 20th, something cracks open. Now, this could be a big opportunity knocking to your door. It could be a big download coming in. It could be a big energy. I said, you need to be in a place of slowing down. You need to be in a space of nothingness. You need to be in a space of that being that river. Because that's when you are receptive to receive. And that's when it just lands like boom. It just freaking lands. Right? It's big. It's big. But it couldn't have come without what you are going through, what you have gone through. It's really big because you have also the Emperor, the divine masculine energy. Now, either this thing activates the divine masculine energy in you, or it attracts a masculine energy in your life with whom you can co-create and birth this creation. But this happens kind of like together, and it's kind of like big. So I would ask you to block some dates towards the end. It's going to take some of your time, but I just feel like it kind of like restores your faith. It kind of like restores your faith in the universe, in yourself, in the world, in probably your partner, in just someone, or whoever you're attracting in your life, and just on love probably. But it's just, I'm not feeling emotional as I say all of these. It's just funny. Just feeling like, ooh, you know, that nervousness you feel when something beautiful and big is about to happen. Like, you know, it's coming, but you're going to pretend like it's not going to come. Yeah, I'm getting that vibe. So, yeah. Let's pull out a card from the Oracle deck. What do we have for Capricorns? Okay. Okay, I feel like this card Leap. So you got the card Leap, which is just so similar to the Fool card. It's like, be a fool. Leap, take that leap of faith, whichever way you're being called, and you've been like slowly being nudged by the universe. That's what I'm saying. The process is like, it's going to take a while, and then boom. But for that, you need to let that process take place. Let the metamorphosis take place. I was watching a workshop today, and she said, if we don't let the caterpillar take its time to go through the process of being in goo, being in that chrysalis process, then we cannot really be sure if it's ever going to become the butterfly. So take that time, because it's going to take you places. leap. You go first. The universe is really asking you to take that leap of faith and to embody that masculine energy and take that action or take that step towards um whatever you are calling in manifesting. I don't know what you guys are really doing, because it's like magic. Okay, what are you calling in? Definitely, some of you are calling in and manifesting a partner, but for some of you, it could be a project. It could be this energy. This energy would just some of you might be getting pregnant. If it's not for you, if you're not looking for a partner, and you're ready to conceive, that is there. Or some of you, it's just this energy. The king of wands energy is like electric. It's this fire, it's this passion, it's this very Mars and Leo energy. So the Leo energy, it's like something happens. Oh, okay, the fire lights up, the fire goes down. So it's going to really come in a flash. Okay, yeah, it's like this. I'll just say it. I just don't I've been looking for a better word or something, but it's kind of this very rich, sexy, fertile energy which just wants to kind of like impregnate you with an idea as well. It's an energy. Now, I'm not saying it has to be a masculine energy. It can literally be a creative energy which just comes in and helps you to give birth to that idea, to bring it to life, to manifest it into life. The execution, the masculine. So for you, if it's not any of these things, not a partnership, not children, not pregnancy, then for you this could be like a creative idea, getting that flash of light and birthing. And then you honor and embody that masculine energy. But either way, so it could be a mirror in front of you, or it could be you, right? Either way, the masculine energy like steps in the later half of the month. For the first few weeks, guys, you need to slow down if you haven't already been, but I feel like a lot of you are. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so, so, so much. Thank you for being here. Let me know if this resonates. Share with somebody who you think might benefit from. And I'm sending you so much love, and I'll send you next week. Not next week, next month. And what else? Follow me on Instagram. I post a lot. I love talking to you guys, actually. So yeah, like follow me on Instagram. And you can sign up my newsletter if you want to hear about my new offerings. And yeah, just so much, so much, so much love as you go through this tender process of metamorphosis. And I'll see you soon. And yep, all the links down below. Love you. Take care.